And we are live. There is a ton of people in the chat. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. Today it is in my basement. I'm Chris. Thank you for joining. We have extra people here, and I'm doing it again because I let these ads play. We have Glenn, we have Walter, and we have a special guest. I'll let Glenn take care of that, and I'll let you go ahead and go, Walter, and then we can go through the chat.
Hi, I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D. Thanks for stopping by. You can find me everywhere at Kuntry 3D. We're getting new digs here, so woohoo! All right, Glenn, it's on you, buddy.
You know, these intros are getting shorter and shorter every time.
I mean, how much can you say, really?
I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm J, and yeah, that's enough.
I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna actually write an intro so that I read it the same exact way every time.
just make a video and play it each time. So, hey everybody, I am Glenn.
I am Alien. Well, I'm Josh from Alien 3D.
And together today we are Fun King 3D, and Fun King 3D is found everywhere. I mean everywhere at Fun King 3D. That's all I'm going to give you today.
Awesome.
That was pretty short too.
Yeah.
Besides, you do this once a week. Everybody shows up at the same time. They know us by now.
There should be new people because honestly, my mother should be watching. I don't know if she has a YouTube name or if she can type or if she can even use her phone properly.
Type,
yeah.
Like maybe she just doesn't even know how.
I bought her a smartphone and it's been downhill ever since.
You should set up an account with like Alien Mom.
I should.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
My mom gets in the chat quite often, so she won't be the only one.
Yeah, I don't think my mom has ever. She watches Xander's thing Thursdays, but I don't think she's ever watched any of my stuff.
She subscribes to everybody that makes a unboxing video of the UFO, so she can watch them every month. She gets excited about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that means she takes pride in you.
Yeah. Well, she helps me pack the boxes,
Yeah,
and she helps me. This month she vacuum sealed the samples for me while I was making the samples, and I had to retrain her on that though. But you know,
somebody happened to call him out on some slacking vacuum.
Yeah. But,
all right, let's run down the chat real quick here. Robbie Mack is here. Nalaby2 is here. Welcome. Radio Man is here. Hey, Scald YT is here. Paul Cumber is here. Welcome, Paul. Bo is here. Welcome, Bo. Matt Williamson. Richard is here. Robert Reynolds. Jake from State Farm. Hello, Matt. John Trolling for Dollars. Chad Williams is here. Kathy O'Malley is here. Welcome. HVA A to Z. That is Sergio. Welcome, Sergio. Casa Del Wacos is Tony. Hello. 3D Printing Llama. Tom is here. Tristan is here. DIY Talks is here. Welcome everyone to the chat.
You're so good with names, Chris. Someday I hope to be that good with people's names.
yeah.
Well, at some point I'm going to hit capacity. So I don't.
I hit capacity at like 12 people, and that's like.
Hey, Chris, since you're so good with names, I'm gonna say hey to Terry, but you say hey to Sam right below that and grab his last name there for me.
Terry, Sam. See, I've talked to Sam before, and there's no way I'm going to be able to.
Satakis, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Sean,
hello, Sam. I don't mean to butcher your name. And Sean is here, and Michael Fox is here, and Christopher Drwiski. I butchered that. Hello.
Zwicky.
Zwicky.
I call him Dr. Zawicki.
Yeah, it looks like he's a doctor to me.
He's a doctor. Chris, you're a doctor now.
I wonder if Michael's middle name starts with a J.
Maybe.
Britt Hawks is here. Stephen Lightspeed is here. Hello. Mike Wiley is here. Welcome. John is here. Welcome. Patrick Nugent is here. I know I can almost say that one.
I thought it was Neonhoff.
Neonhoff?
I don't know. I might be wrong, but
you're as good as guess as good as mine.
Yes, Tristan. Yes, I am in the new studio. It is not complete by any stretch of the imagination, but I am in it.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hey, Paul. Mailbag Monday coming out tomorrow, buddy. Yeah, but not the J Fox you're thinking.
Yeah, but your parents knew what they were doing.
You know, one of these days, we're gonna have somebody show up that, you know, like, I mean, we've had celebrities, but I mean, like,
Right.
we're gonna have somebody come in that's like incognito.
Incognito.
And then, yeah.
Well, I will tell you that we probably have a because y'all did agree to do my 1 year on February the 3rd, Fun in the Country Basement. Remember?
Did you run that through my people?
I did. I talked to Zach. He said it was great.
All right, because he's got to put it on my calendar.
But we have a special guest that day as well.
Awesome. Scott Hackmonkey is here. Welcome, Scott.
Michael says he predates that fox.
He predates that fox. I hear you.
Mike Torrey is here. Welcome, Mike. Bo says keep it interesting. He's in bed and he doesn't want to fall asleep. I'm like, we all do our best, Bo.
God, do we ever not keep it interesting?
Yeah,
I mean, we're
a thrilling stream.
Crazy guys. The Saturday Night Live guys, right?
Oh yeah, back when Saturday Night Live was funny.
Yeah. So Josh,
Me and Graybeard did that whole karaoke. What is love? To the what was that? Night at the Roxbury?
Oh yeah, that
Chris
movie was
Kattan.
hysterical.
So Josh is coming to KC next week, and you never know where he's going to show up.
Next week, no. Maybe sometime in the future.
Well, it's been what, 2 weeks since you were at Walter's house?
Yeah, I think
so.
2
You have
weeks.
2 weeks to get to Chris's house.
2 weeks to get to Kansas City.
There you go.
I gotta
Yeah,
look
this
at
year,
where
hello, Dan.
Missouri is in relation to like Indiana, and
South, a little bit west.
maybe after Murph, I can do a
South,
side trip.
What's this Murph that you talk about?
south, and a lot of bit north or west.
John says that I am clipping again.
You were?
Am I overmodulating?
No, I don't know. It's clipping though.
Is Josh clipping when he talks?
No, Steven, no. Save the money and buy your TiVo. Keep your Mavic Pro. It's really not that good of a deal.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, actually, Matt, Jake from State Farm, got the mothership box, and he posted it to Twitter. I believe this morning or yesterday.
Oh, let's try that. And John, don't ever hate to be that guy. Like I said last week, we don't ever know. We don't know what's going on if you guys don't tell us. So.
Yeah, Michael, what happened to your A8 build? You were going to tell me. You commented that on my YouTube video.
Got kind of free there. Xander got taller and grew a beard. I should have had a Fun King shirt for
Ricky
you.
Tanner is here. Hello,
It's all
Ricky.
good.
What's that, Chris?
Ricky Tanner
I
is here.
purposely wore my Space Cat shirt today. Thought it would go with the alien theme.
All right, it seems okay now. I just turned the gain down a little bit. Turn the amplifier down.
Let me explain. Steven, Lightspeed, let me tell you. If you want a TiVo little monster and you don't need your Mavic Pro, then yes, it's a great deal. But you're going to have to do work to it after you get it to make it a good printer.
Hey, Walter.
What?
Is your camera a lot closer to you than it used to be in your other room?
Well, it's the 920, so it's got a different field of view.
Okay, yeah, because when you lean into the mic like you used to do, it's like right there.
Oh, yeah, the mic and the camera are like side by side right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when you lean in, like we're looking at your brain.
You can see light through the other side if you look.
Hello.
That's right. Well, Steven, then it would be better for you to sell your Mavic for about $650 and then buy it $500 cash. Because I think you can get about $600 to $650 for your Mavic Pro, if not more. So, I mean, that would be good.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Wakaki throwing down $24.99, telling Chris to get an alien box.
Thank you, Chris Wakaki. And I have an alien box, so now you just paid for it already. I've already got it.
Right?
I appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah. See, we're just funneling money through different channels here. You give it to me, I'll give it to Josh. Everything will be fine. A lot of it goes to Prusa. But thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining the stream. You don't always get to join streams. And Carl is here. Carl Brown is here as well. And Joe Paddock. I missed you. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, Steven, if you've got thousands worth of accessories and stuff to your Mavic Pro, sell it. Just pay the guy $500 for the TiVo, sell it, and then upgrade your TiVo. All right. I don't guess. Did Michael hear me? Michael, I would love to hear about your A8. Did you say something? No stepper motor cables. Yeah, those are important. That's a good snag. What's up, Red Light? I hate it when they don't include parts in a kit.
Hello, Red Light Mike. How are you?
Is that a camera?
So I have to replace the heater cartridge on this printer, and one lead is off. But I really need to heat up the heat block to remove that cartridge, and the cartridge doesn't work. And it's a Prusa, so all of this is ABS plastic. This could get interesting.
Yeah.
How do you find anything with that? Glenn's literally got like 100 tabs open on his browser.
You should see the computer that I use regularly. This is nothing. I'm a tab hog.
Just drill it out.
All right. Well, Steven, if I had $500, I would just buy your Mavic and say, here, just give him the money I give you for the TiVo. Then you could just sell me your Mavic since you're bored with it.
Yeah, it's not like it's cool looking or anything. I didn't even know what you guys were talking about. I had to just Google it.
Oh, the Mavic Pro?
Yeah. I thought you guys were talking about a 3D printer, and I thought I hadn't heard of that one yet.
So you don't watch any of my streams because I streamed the other day. Listen,
No.
man, I had a company email me and ask me if I'd like to try one out. So they sent me a Mavic 2 Pro.
Nice.
Yeah.
I quit watching your stuff, Walter. It's your country accent. I can't handle it.
Bo says he did a perfect benchy with 0% infill. That is impressive, sir. I don't think I've ever done that.
Both of them asked, two people asked, could you put a soldering iron on it and push it?
Yeah. That's as good as idea as any. That's what we're going with.
Sean said he watches your videos. He just has the sound turned off. Yeah, I like to have a TV show running in the background while I'm watching Walter, and then I just pretend like whatever they're saying on the TV show is Walter.
Hold on.
I like to use episodes of CSI Miami for that.
I don't know why your audio sync's changing, Carl. Mine was always volume, not really the sync.
Yeah, I have had audio sync issues in OBS recently, but it's really hit and miss. If you reboot, I guess it clears the buffer or whatever, and it goes back to normal.
Aaron Seeger, I am officially in my camper trailer for the day anyway.
Brian Davidson is here. Hello.
Who uses a brass nozzle?
Maker Select extrusion problems. You know, the Maker Select is one of the most frustrating machines I've ever owned as of right now. It's got terrible, terrible heat creep. Even if you get the extrusion problem solved about an hour into a print, it has creeped so much that the PLA will stick in the top of the tube. So it definitely needs some modification to make it good.
Even I did not. I did not get the new Bondtech extruder upgrades. You're talking about the BMGs, right? Isn't that what they offer now? The BMGs for the
Oh yeah,
Mark IIIs?
I still have my eye on that.
Do you have a Mark III yet?
No, but I'm going to adapt it over to my 2.5.
Well, the thing is, the 2.5 extruder is the exact same, I think, as the.
It is not. It's oh yeah. It should be the same extruder. I thought you were going to say it's the same as the BMG.
No, right.
Eldest online, welcome. Hello.
I like that purple from right now.
Bondtech upgrade. I do not have a Bondtech upgrade for a Prusa yet. I am really reluctant to modify Prusa printers, and that's just a personal taste. You can make modifications and make them even better than they already are, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm just reluctant to do it because I have a couple, and if I need to get a project done quick, I can just hit the button. Project's over with.
Do you need more empty spools for all these wires? I got about 300 of them.
What's that?
I said, do you need any empty spools for all these wires? I got about
I have
300
lots of
of
empty
them.
spools.
Robot Hut is here. No, I have not checked out the direct drive on the TiVo yet, but I will. That sounds interesting. Ricky Tanner probably needs to check that out.
So I want everybody to pay attention because this is a monumental moment.
Oh goodness!
I have here some Rhino Reel, Rhino 3D PLA, the bonus sample out of a maker box, and I'm gonna present this to John.
Hey, I've got no problem with MakerBox. You know, I've liked and shared their posts.
I'm just busting on you right now.
They blocked me.
AJ is here. Welcome.
What's up? All right.
Yeah, Chris Warkaki. I saw they had a couple of different options. You could go 2, 2.5, or 3 with that new extruder. They're kind of pricey though, but that's the Bondtech way.
I don't know. The thing is, though, Chris, is there really a better extruder on the market?
Oh, but people would say yeah, but probably not. I mean, well, it kind of depends, I guess. Bondtech is very unique, as you all know.
Right.
But like Flexion and stuff, I mean, you could go with one of the self-cleaning type and the really crazy one. But probably not. Probably bang for the buck, like best for the best. BMG is probably still where it's at.
And I have to say, I haven't had any problems with the E3D Titans either. So,
I love the Titan.
The Titan's a great extruder.
Yeah, I would go Titan before I went BMG, but it's not because it's better. It's just because I like it.
Well, the price is a little better too.
Yeah, they're a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. And to me, the mounting options are easier with the Titan, to me. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's so much. It's so much flatter, and you can get it in different areas than you can that BMG.
Right.
Put some thermal grease on the cold end tube and it help with heat creep. Okay, I'll try it. Why not?
Uncle Ron, yes, I should have some T-shirts at Murph. I don't know how many, but we'll see.
Well, Chad Williams, I think the Titan versus the Titan Aero, the Titan Aero just has the E3D nozzle built in. So, I mean, the extruder itself is still the same extruder. So there's not really, you can't really compare those two, I don't think.
It's pretty much the same setup. The Aero is just a little more compact.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, I actually saw that on a unboxing video, and I tell you what, the guys at 3D Gloop, Andrew and Andrew, are great. The Andrews. They're great guys, and literally one of the Andrews sits home and makes gloop all day while the other one works a full-time job as well. So I'm sure they probably just did not have enough at the time.
Yeah, you guys,
because they do those little sample bottles, right?
And you got to remember too that the maker box like when I sent the stickers in to go out with MakerBox, I just sent 1,000 stickers. So for them to make 1,000 samples, that's a lot of samples.
I through the grapevine, I've heard they've got like 1,300 subscribers. So, my audio is a bit exposed. I don't know what that means, but
does that mean that you're hot?
Yeah, he's hot too. Hot.
yeah, I know I'm hot. But what does that have to do with my mic?
Hey, Michael Fox. Yeah, I mean, I've done several live unboxings. Brian Vines does unboxings, but you know what? I happen to have an unopened alien box right here from Christmas.
Why would you have an unopened one?
I know.
Because
I sent him a Christmas box, and he doesn't even open it.
listen, because Brian Vines beat me to it, and I was out of town for Christmas for a while. So
Oh, because somebody beat you to it? You're not even going to bother?
Yeah. He's like, somebody beat it. I don't need it.
He's going to open it right now live.
Well, the problem is
Why
that
did we make that one a
somebody,
glue?
listen, somebody sent me a pack of hot cocoa.
Did it break open?
It exploded in my box.
Yeah, I had complaints that month about the
I
cocoa.
opened it up and I'm like, what the hell is that?
I thought for sure the cocoa would be an awesome idea, but I also sent a motor that month,
Yeah,
and the motor punctured the cocoa packets.
and that's exactly what happened. And now I've got to get a can of air to clean out my motor.
Man, I had good intentions.
You did. Road to hell's paved with those. You know that, right?
I know it.
Chris Orkaki says he doesn't like the Titan. He says it's out of spec, but the Arrow is better.
Hey, somebody, hey, and Michael Fox, the reason I'm doing this is because if you look in this box that I've got, there's a bottle of 3D glue right here.
Yeah, that was a whole 75 milliliter bottle.
But there's a project, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 samples of filament and lots of cocoa everywhere.
Actually, brown cocaine.
I will tell you though, it gave me the Christmas spirit because I think one of the candy canes broke open as well.
Oh, so you got the
Like a
cocoa and the
chocolate-
candy
Yeah, it
peppermint.
was a chocolate peppermint smell when I opened the box. I'm like, ah.
Yep, 3D printing llama, Tom. I can do the link, but there's really no way for me to rebroadcast video. Do you want me to just throw the link out there? Tom sent me a video that Walter really needs to see.
Tom sent you a video that I really need to see.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
we'll see what Tom says.
Thomas, you can just send it to me. But yeah,
I think
Michael, this
you
one
responded
item right
live.
here. This one item right here is worth the box. Just the one item.
Yeah, but I always see everybody on Twitter and stuff, oh, when are you going to get it back in stock? How come it's out of stock? I mean, you guys got to understand, it's just the two Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a team of people or, a whole lab making a sample for them, and
Walter, don't do that. You're going to have ants in your new studio.
probably already does.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised what's in this place right now. Because if I turn the camera just a bit that way, see, there's a big hole right there where there was an air conditioner. He just took the air conditioner out and left a hole.
Well, that would be nice in the summertime.
Chris worked
Chris,
out.
Chris, you got to buy me some cocoa.
All right.
But it's really funny, man, because it poked a hole like right in the top corner of the top corner of the bag.
Yeah, this month with all the electronics components that were in the box, I tried to layer them just right so they wouldn't puncture, and had a couple people say that their vacuum sealed still got punctured.
Man, it was you watch my video.
Yeah, I saw yours too.
I gave you hell about the vacuum bag.
I don't know if your vacuum pack got punctured by an Arduino or if it like I said, the first 200 samples, my mother was putting the the bag all the way to the right past the line.
Right.
So after it sealed, there was still like a 1/4 inch that wasn't sealed, so the air was sucking back into them.
Look, we got a Howie 5-0. Woo! Welcome, buddy.
Hello, Howie.
Everybody be cool. It's the cops.
5-0, 5-0. I gotta go, guys. See y'all later.
They're on to you, Walter.
If they're on to me, dude, I don't. What's it for? Like pissing outside? No one would know.
Spend all your money on 2 new printers. I know how that goes, man.
Michael Fox, no, you will not get Exploding Cocoa if you signed up today. However, there was a huge request for lizards last month. So, little spoiler, I'm sending everybody lizards.
Are they dried out lizards?
No, they're like chameleon lizards.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
they're so plentiful in this state.
Right?
They're easy to get.
When I got in the camper yesterday, when we got it moved, there was 2 lizards in here. So I put my foot by it and it run off, and then I put my foot by the other one and it didn't run off.
It was dried up. Yeah, I have a dried up frog and a dried up lizard in between the window and the screen of my
Nice.
headquarter building.
Saving it for later for like a snack.
Well, I'm waiting for it to dry out a little more because when I looked at the frog, it was kind of gooey and I didn't want to touch it.
I hear you.
Chocolate covered lizards.
All right, is that the video, Chris?
Yeah, that's Tom's video. Check it out.
All right.
Now you would think, and this is making a lot of assumption, but here you have YouTube, which was owned by Google.
Right.
Huge. Then you got Hangouts. It's also owned by Google.
Which is getting shut down soon.
Next year, 2020.
Did they move it?
I don't know. I just read it like a week ago.
I got a notification the other day that they're shutting it down 4 months earlier than expected because of other problems.
But regardless, so you would think that at the point that I play a YouTube video, that I could just put it into my. I mean, you could if you did screen share and stuff, but then you don't get sound.
Yeah.
You would think that it would give you the option to play a YouTube video in a Google application.
I agree.
Just saying.
I've got to have one of those, Thomas. I've got to have one.
Oh, great. Now I got to go watch it.
You got to go watch it. You got to go watch it. I got to have one of those. Glenn's going to want one too, though.
That is kind of cool.
I don't think I said hello to Uncle Ron. Hello, Ron. And Ben Hawk 3D Proto is here. Hello, Ben.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
How did it go? Let's see.
I can't see you at the same time. Don't be doing funny stuff while I'm. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Right?
I'll actually leave the cat in the bag. But Mailbag Monday comes out tomorrow, and I got a Chris Riley head.
Chris Riley head. Yes.
So you guys will have to wait to see Xander's reaction to taking this off.
The thing about it is the way you're holding it looks like Chris on a stick.
It's a Chris popsicle.
It's a Chris sickle. Hey man, you're starting to look like that guy that got on the buzzer button.
Oh yeah, lick the doorbell for 3 hours. I'm gonna silicone mold this so that we can make Kool-Aid pops. What are you doing there? Oh, just eating some Chris head.
Welcome, Chris Foy.
Oh my goodness.
It's not even late, and this is already taking a turn for the worse.
We ain't even been on 30 minutes, man.
This is what happens when somebody models somebody's head and then sends it to somebody else. But now I feel like I got to print a Walter head to go along with it.
That's right. Now Tom's got to do a Glen head.
Well, we have a Fun King head, but we could like mimic the Pep Boys logo.
Right?
That is funny.
So Benjamin, welcome to the stream. John Cook is wanting to know what subscription box we're talking about, and we are talking about the UFO box from Alien 3D. And here is the link where you can go check it out and sign up. It is well worth the money. And I missed some. There was somebody else. TK's here. Welcome, TK.
So was alien3d.com taken?
Yes.
By what?
I don't know. It's just Chinese.
Wow. Let's muscle them out and get you a .com.
They wanted like $24,000 for it.
Well, of course. Of course.
Chris Foy is here. Welcome.
I had somebody that wanted to buy one of my domains one time, and I'm like, you're going to have to make me an offer. And they're like, oh, how about $35? I'm like, how about $10,000?
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, I've been paying on it for 20-something years now. I'm like, I got to at least get my money back out of it.
Yeah, I've got a watch on it, so if it ever becomes available, I'll get a notification so I can buy it. But
It won't.
No. Well, and the thing is people like anytime that I've ever bought a domain and then let it expire, it gets sucked up as an ad.
Immediately.
Yeah.
there's
3D Ghost
certain
Hunter.
domains. I think like GoDaddy sells search lists of the domains that people are looking up, because there've been domains that I've searched and I've like kind of saved but didn't want to buy,
And then they're gone.
and then the next day they're gone.
Yeah.
And I think
So
GoDaddy sells the list.
Here's a hint. Stop using GoDaddy. One,
Well,
they're too
yeah.
expensive.
Well,
Two, everything about them sucks.
their hosting totally
If GoDaddy
sucks.
ever hears this, please come to me because I'll tell you to your face you suck.
Yeah, their hosting totally sucks.
Yeah,
As a web developer, I'm always telling people to get off.
I use namesilo.com is where I buy my stuff from. I've never had an issue with them. So
Namesilo.com?
namesilo.com.
How much are theirs?
$8.99
A year?
Mhm.
I'm switching.
with who is privacy
What?
free included in there.
I'm switching.
Tell them I sent.
I will.
There is the UK version of a subscription box if you'd like to check out. That is Skalda's rendition.
Yeah,
Hello, Doug.
but the shipping was too expensive. Isn't that what everybody said about yours?
Yeah.
I was gonna sign up, but it's too expensive to ship it over here.
Well, I was happy to help Scalda out and get him set up over there for the EU box, because that was literally my biggest question all the time. Do you offer it overseas? And yes, I do if people are willing to pay the shipping, but
It's crazy.
Canada cost me $22 to send a box. The UK cost me $22 to send a box. And Canada's right there.
Yeah, they could drive it there.
Right.
As where the UK, they got to fly it.
Right. It makes no sense.
Trevor
And I
Bailey
think
is
for,
here.
like Australia, it was like $40. But Kathy actually, she subscribes to the box, but she uses a reshipper in the US. So
I was gonna actually offer that as a service, just to the 3D printing community, that if they wanted to buy something from a local vendor, that they could send it to me, and then I would ship it over to them. Because there's a lot of vendors that don't send overseas, so I would. And then I thought no, because they'll order something good, and I won't want to send it. So I'll just keep it.
Well, I actually over the last couple months, I've been talking to people about being a drop shipper for their stuff.
Yeah.
And 3D printing professor. I'm actually drop shipping stuff for him, and Walter maybe if he decides to do what
Don't let the cat out of the bag.
I'm not. Well, he talked about it on his stream last time I
Oh,
was there.
I
I'm
don't
not gonna say
I don't
what,
watch his stuff.
but maybe doing stuff for country soon.
Yeah, see, look, Ben said that's good to know. Matter hackers won't ship overseas. It's just so expensive, and it's such a pain to ship overseas because you have to fill out all the paperwork and stuff.
I don't fill out any paperwork.
To ship overseas, you don't have to fill out a A customs form?
Well, I use ShipStation, and they ask what the item is, what the value is,
Oh, then they take care of it for you.
and they take care of it.
Because you're paying them.
I just print out the label. It's like $20 a month.
Yeah, but I don't ship enough
Yeah.
to make that worthwhile. I have a box sitting over there for Don, the German 3D printing nerd, that I told him I was going to send him like a year ago. It's sitting in that pile right there.
Well, give it to me. I'll ship it out when I go home. I got stuff I got to ship out tomorrow.
All right, I'll do that, and then you just tell me how much it is, and I'll reimburse you because I'll likely never send it.
The first Country 3D tip in the new studio. Thank you, Walter.
Chilling on a dirt road, laid back, smoking like I'm George Jones. I bet most of these people who don't even know who George Jones is there, Walter.
Maybe not. They probably don't know who sings that song either, if that lyric is from.
Oh yeah, Martin said that Matter Hacker sends to Iceland. I feel compelled to put that thing back together, but yet I don't have any
Sonic,
motivation.
I think Loop will ship overseas now. I know they were waiting for some kind of paperwork. The problem is with like certain sizes, like samples, I can send out to anywhere. The 75 milliliter bottles I could send anywhere to the US, even on airplanes. But overseas, they have to be shipped with like certain paperwork and all their chemical stuff.
Of the chemical,
and
right?
I know they sent samples to Scalda to give out in his box.
I know, Ricky. I like that one better, though. Sorry.
AV asked if Railcore is a good printer. I think the Railcore could be an awesome printer if you got the patience for it. I think it's just like any other printer. I think it's going to need some tweaks here and there, but yeah, it could be really awesome. Do you guys recommend the Ender 3 Pro? If it's cheap, I mean, it's fine as long as you don't pay much for it. You get what you pay for. And then Brian Weber, am I going to ever change the frame out? No, I am not. It is going to stay wood because that's kind of the magic of it.
Oh, on the log, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. You can never change that.
No matter how crooked and warped it is.
Yeah, I am very intrigued though. Once the FK1 is functioning, I am very intrigued in printing a frame for you.
Yeah, I actually printed a Y carriage, the Prusa bed carriage the other day, just to see what it turned out like. It's not too bad. So I think there's promise in that.
Well,
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
What if you use a wood filament and print a frame for it?
No,
wood.
he can't get rid of that frame. That like to build another printer maybe, but not that. But the Y carriage, everybody is so worried about it being super durable and stuff, which during the bed leveling, like if you have a manual bed level, then yeah, it definitely plays in there. But as long as it's rigid enough, you're not sitting on it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe some people are. I don't know, but I don't sit on my printers. So it's absolutely. I would think like PETG would be strong enough and resistive enough to the heat. What did you print it out of?
Yeah, IC3D PETG.
Yeah.
The good thing about the Prusa though, especially the Mark II, is Mark III would be the same way, but Mark II, the standoffs and the bed that it uses, when you screw it down to that Y carriage, it makes a stiff frame anyway.
Good point, because the bed is super stiff.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to use springs and knobs on it, on a PETG carriage probably.
Yeah, but you still could.
Right?
Yeah, depending on where the bearing carriers are.
Right.
If they're too far away, like the E12, and I love picking on the E12. You guys know that. The way that thing is, I would never do it. I mean, it's a metal piece underneath there, and it's push on that bed. I mean, it's like crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but no, when you sandwich it together, it turns out pretty well. So I was pretty pleased.
That's cool. You do a video on it?
What's that?
You didn't do a video on it?
I did a video on it, but it's only available to $5 and up Patreon.
Oh, it's not me.
They get the good inside stuff.
I got a couple questions.
Sorry, Chris. I only give you $1.
Michael Fox, no, I do not take PayPal because you have to have a certain type of PayPal account for the subscriptions, and they refuse to give me permission for that account.
You can use my PayPal.
But I bet. But I do take Amazon Pay, and then credit cards through Stripe or debit cards, whatever. And then Paul Cumber, I don't sell filament specifically right now as a reseller. If I pay for filament for the UFOs and I have extra rolls, I either give them away in contests or like the
Maker fairs.
Maker fairs. And then, well, last month I did a charity auction. And I advertised it as all the UFO scraps from the boxes over the last few months. There was like 7 pounds of scraps I have. And
I did not hear about it.
I posted it on Twitter all over. But anyway, it was for Make-A-Wish. And somebody bid $100. And that was the winning bid. But the surprise of it was actually 10 full rolls of filament that I gave to the winner.
Wow.
And then some, if you go on my website, I do have like extra Protopasta Winter Blue, Ziltec Wood Fill, I think some Polymaker stuff that I do sell extra on my website as well.
Cool. And that's alien3d.us.
Hack Monkey Scott mentioned EZR. Yeah. What tubing are you using? I'm just using the standard white cheap tubing, but it is somewhat accurate. There's cheap Bowden tube, and then there's cheap Bowden tube. The place I've been buying mine, it's pretty close to 4 millimeter on the outside.
Michael Fox said, "Bummer. That's how I keep my wife from seeing what I buy for my toys." I was doing computer work for a credit card processing company back a couple years ago, and I had this great idea, and I went to him and I said, "Listen, I got an idea for a business, and you got to tell me how viable this is." And I said, "What I want to do is I want to have a business, and when you want to buy, say you want to buy your wife flowers, but you don't want her to know you bought her flowers, you buy it through me, and it shows on the credit card statement as like Bob's Bait and Tackle." And then she gets the flowers, and she has no idea, because like when I go to buy my wife's stuff, I have to like over time collect the cash so that I'm not taking out a lump sum of cash, and I can't put it on the card because she'll know where I was shopping for. And so like I have to like be really strategic about. So most of the time she doesn't get anything because I don't have any money. So I thought this was a genius idea. Like you'd be able to like choose, like you tell me, okay, this is what I'm buying, and this is what I want, and this is where I want it to come from, and I want it to show from auto parts,
right?
Whatever is like in your norm. Right. And I thought, this is genius. And he said, no, that they would consider that money laundering because people could very easily like spend money with their buddy's business,
right? But
run it through you, and it never touches the buddy's business, and I'm like, oh, that was a good idea.
It does sound like a good idea, though.
Hey,
he said the other problem with it is that if I was to do that, say I bought flowers, but had it say Bait and Tackle, I could say, well, I never got what I ordered. And then there would be no way to trace it back.
That's true.
So.
Hey, Michael Fox, you can get a debit card from PayPal, and you can use it just like a debit MasterCard. So then you wouldn't have to worry about them taking PayPal because you could use your debit MasterCard from PayPal. That's a way around that if you want to check into that.
It is genius. It is also illegal. Yes, I didn't know that at the time, Jake from State Farm.
Sean
says,
John from You Do It here. A smaller one. Go ahead, Walter.
John from You Do It here, and I have to say, I'm with you. Go Eagles. We have a boy from our hometown that plays for the Eagles.
Pepsi,
anything.
Sprite Zero.
So, John, Nigel Bradham that plays for the Eagles is from our hometown. So go Eagles, even though I'm not really an Eagles fan.
Sean said I could make a smaller one that's a branch or twig, and then Chad, I think Chad said I should make one that's a bigger one called Trunk. I like it. And John, for you do it. Hello, John. How are you? Brian Vines is here. Hello.
What's up, Brian?
I don't even know who the Eagles are playing. Who's the Eagles playing? Does either one of y'all know?
Man,
Follow it at all.
stupid Bears lost to the Eagles. I don't even care about where the Eagles are.
Listen, the Bears did not lose to the Eagles. The Bears kicker lost to the Eagles. That was a double dink, man. I mean, come on.
So sad. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Been what, like 23 years since the Bears won a Super Bowl?
What was that? That wasn't the fridge, was it?
Yeah, it was the 80s.
86, I believe.
Yeah, that was Refrigerator Perry and all those guys, right?
Yeah.
With the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl shuffle, yep.
Thing about it is, Red Light's saying go Saints, and I can say go Saints because we got some Gator players on the Saints. So I actually like the Saints better than the Eagles, but we do have a hometown boy playing for the Eagles, so I have to root for him.
Thought this was a 3D printing thing, not
Wait a minute. You ain't talked about 3D printing in like 20 minutes.
He's been building a nozzle over here.
Yeah, I was building my E3D V6 hot end.
Oh.
And then I did say that I was really compelled to feeling that I need to put that thing back together. And then I said I don't have any motivation to do it. I mean, look at it. It's like,
it just looks like a nightmare.
Probably took it apart wrong, because that's the first time that I ever disassembled that particular extruder assembly. So I'm sure I did it wrong, but
I was on Pred Solid, the website. I had a question about something because there was something in the long story, but I sent a question over and I was expecting somebody to answer like at Matter Hackers or whatever. No, it was Dave that answered it. So Dave's just doing everything.
Hey, I have to answer Michael Fox. There's not a Kuntry Basement coupon code, but if you just use Kuntry Club, KUNTRYKLUB, that is a good coupon code for you to give you 15% off every month. Taking money out of Josh's pocket, sticking it to the man.
How are you running a coupon usually the first month? Yeah, but
Well,
you're far too kind.
Walter, I mean, he was the first person to put me out there on, streaming and YouTube and everything. And
so Walter
it's
makes
just
up the difference in the money?
It's just a thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wild Wookie, that really depends on what you want to do, man. Is SLA worth saving for? I mean, if you're saving for a nice printer, you can get an SLA printer for $500. So
I just saw a video of a guy making an SLA printer out of a CD drive.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? This guy made a Christmas tree ornament. It's probably about that big. He used took apart a CD part drive, and he made an SLA printer inside of it, and it printed Christmas ornaments. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Why are SLA
New
printers
York
so
Maker
expensive?
Fair 17? There was, and somebody will tell me the name of it. There's a printer out there that uses your cell phone as the imager.
They've got such bad.
But I know. But there was another guy there doing the same thing, which I actually seen him before I seen the other people, and his was like functional.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as pretty. Like it didn't have the nice enclosure and stuff. Like his was a little bit more raw, but it was functional.
Right.
And I thought, how come nobody knows who that guy is? I'm gonna have to dig around and find his information. So
yes, John, I did. I'm sorry.
super smart guy. It's like one of those people like Chris Riley where you talk to him and then you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's smarter than you. I mean, Chris Riley went into the back end of the website and updated it. Didn't even need help.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to call tech support or anything.
We'll see what happens when Walter tries it.
Oh, it's gonna break.
It's pretty hard, Walter.
It took me 10 times to get my password in there.
It's been like a year, and I haven't even seen
the passwords I sent him. I went to like a password generator,
and I copied and pasted it. I copied and pasted it and couldn't get it to work.
It was like these horrendous, horrible passwords. Mine's just password.
The thing is,
These asshole when you need
That's
it.
it. The Oh No printer.
Yeah,
the username is case sensitive on the back end, Glenn.
That is
Didn't know
correct. That is correct. That way it greets you properly when you come in. I am throwing away an old Tandy laser printer in the back of the truck right now. Can I make a 3D printer out of that? Well, technically, Tony, it is a 3D printer. All printers are technically a 3D printer because even though it's printing on paper, it still has a thickness. Sorry.
Hey, it says, is it Country Club?
yeah, it's Country Club. Yeah, that's right. Why is it saying it does not exist?
All one word.
Yeah, all one word. Let's see. I don't think I said it to expire.
It doesn't apply to people with the name.
Wait,
Michael.
what product are you trying to use it on? If it's the monthly subscription, it should work for the main UFO box. I don't think it works for the filaments only box or the 1 month box.
Yeah, I would say that would be only for the subscription box. So I don't know, Michael Fox. If you're not looking to sign up, that may not be the deal for you.
I'm looking it up right now, logging into my site.
Walter, you asked about auto level for the first layer on SLA.
Wait, would you auto level help with what? On an SLA printer? There's no auto level. I mean, you have to level the plate before you even start printing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I think that's going to be the thing that really makes 3D printing move into the next level. No pun intended. Is when you don't have to worry about that. I mean, even as good as the Prusa printers are with the auto leveling, it's still not, because you have to go through all that calibration and stuff. When it just happens completely automatically and it just doesn't matter, like you get mad and you just punch a big dent in the middle of your plate, but yet it still prints fine, then we'll be there.
Wild Wookie was asking for an Ender 3. Chris, you have an Ender 3. Did you put auto level on yours?
No, but I did put it on an Ender 2, and it does. I mean, it's going to help, but it depends where the skew is. So I probably said this a billion times, but I always forget what I say and what I don't. But anyway, I thought it a billion times. So auto bed leveling doesn't help with X skew. So if you're high on one side or the other, that auto level is going to kind of ignore that. The way ABL, the bilinear, the kind you're used to seeing, is going to ignore that for the most part. But so on an ender like that, you've only got one lead screw on one side. If you've got skew like that, if it's inconsistency in the X, probably not going to help much. Ronnie got here late. This is a Mark II printer that I tore the heater cartridge wire off of, and now I need to replace the heater cartridge, but I'm stalling. Vilmondes, welcome.
Yeah, Michael, I just signed up. Well, I'm in my cart and I used the Country Club code and it worked fine for the full UFO box. But it only works for the subscription, not the 1 month box or the filaments only box.
Is Jacob Sonro Techie Dad?
No, Techie Dad's Brandon.
Okay.
How does he remember all these people's names?
I don't know. I have a hard time. It's really funny. My name limit is about 12. So when I learn the 13th, I start forgetting my kids' names.
Like I know everybody by their Twitter handle.
Yeah.
I don't.
I just refer to my kids as hey, little guy, and you.
Well, it's funny. I get DMs from subscribers, from various things. Like this month, for example, a couple sensors didn't work, so I was sending new sensors out to people. and they message me, and they've got their Twitter handle, no name anywhere, and they're like, "Hey, can you send me a new sensor?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I wait for them to tell me their name, and they just, "Okay, thanks," and they're done. And I can't do it unless I know who you are.
I have to ask Larry Cluster. Did he see? I think it was my Saturday morning stream. No, it was last Sunday's Fun in the Country Basement. Yeah, it was the Fun in the Country Basement when I showed the flies that Larry Cluster tied. I gave you great props, man, and told you thank you very much. Stephen Batten asked, what upgrades would you guys recommend for a Prusa Mark III?
None.
None.
Leave it alone.
Build it like it's supposed to, get it dialed in, and print on that thing like your life is dependent on it.
I want one so bad.
I want a 3, but
We lost Glenn.
Glenn froze.
So Nolanby's got 7x7 printing. I saw that there's firmware out there where you can change that. I don't know if I said Mark Williamson. I don't know if I said hello. Hello, Thomas Moraz. I did not say hello. Hello, BJ. Hey, what's going on? And Jacob, I don't know if you saw the video on Twitter. I watched it, but his 2 girls did an unboxing on an Ender 3, and there was a cat in the mix. So it was the greatest.
Yeah. I did see that. For some reason, I thought it was Techie Dad that did that.
Yeah,
I saw your comment on that. He tagged me in it too. I did watch that. That was a good video.
I liked it. They look like they're having a pretty good time.
Hey, I did want to say, since most of these people are here, they're probably subscribed to you. But if you're not subscribed to Kuntry 3D or Fun King 3D, our links are in the description below. And if you're not subscribed to Chris, well, then you're just crazy.
I'm not sure how you got here, but thank you for coming anyway. But yes, the information is down. Larry, awesome job on.
I don't want to give up my 2.5 because it's. Hey everybody, we took a little recess. Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to talk over you, but I got to do that.
That's hilarious. I love it. I'm not called the Chris Riley for nothing. Yeah, thanks, Walter.
You didn't do it. You didn't do it right, man. It's the Chris Riley. Come on.
It's true.
Air quotes make all the difference.
Joint project for the 3 channels: DIY, UV laser, volume 2, and don't say I'm crazy. Probably missing a bunch of stuff. Stephen Batten. Hello.
Wild Wookie's got a good question. What's the best printer that can print miniatures but small for FDM? SLA. I mean, a DLP printer.
That's not FDM.
Yeah.
I know. It said but small for FDM.
Technically, I mean, I've seen them printed on the Prusa MK3, and as long as you have the settings right, I mean, they print great.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is people don't take the time to get it
to dial in. Yeah.
Chris's printer is on its side.
On my A10M for the 2nd time in a month.
Y'all don't understand why Chris's printer is on its side. Chris invented a new game. It's called Prusa tipping.
3D printing wasn't challenging enough, so I decided to go on the side.
Well, James from Print and Play printed that Benchy on his Delta with it laying on its side.
Yes, he did.
Talk about good overhangs.
No kidding. Tim Frankie's here. Hello, Tim. How are you?
I can't remember who it was, but a few months ago I saw somebody, their setup for their printer was tipped over 90 degrees. Something about saving space, I don't know. But they were printing with their printer sideways and growing it off the bed like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you'd have to take a lot of that into consideration on what you were going to print because of overhangs.
Yeah.
Like your overhangs would be different.
Brian C. also joined us. Hello, Brian.
Who's this imposter guy in here that claims to be me?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gone. Yeah, I don't understand. I'm a rant about this machine for a moment, but
because it's printing like that, though, I don't think you'd need the overhangs really wouldn't.
Well, everything is an overhang at that point.
Yeah, but it's printing sideways, so it's like not overhanging like you would.
Well, because if you printed this dice
Right.
Gravity's pulling it down like this. If you print it like this whole side is an overhang.
Yeah, but it's not an overhang because it's still printing this layer out this way.
Yeah.
Correct. Ford 460 HO says the Prusa Mark III are like 750 compared to an Ender 3 at 240, but you really can't compare an Ender 3 to a Mark III.
No, not if you're looking for quality over quantity.
And don't get me wrong, the Ender 3 that I had printed great. The CR20S that I have, Pro that I have prints great. It's still not going to be my go-to printer.
Well, and there you go. My AM8, my ANA A8 upgrade is quality-wise puts out equal to my Prusa.
Yeah.
But I also have a lot of time into it. And it's not immediately, hey, I want to print being done. If I switch between PLA to PETG, it's a process, and vice versa. The Prusa, I just tell it what I want, and it just does it. So actually, lately, if I tell it I want anything but PETG, it moans and bitches about it. But you know,
Matt from How I Do It is here. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
What's up, Matt?
Robert, I'm looking it up right now.
And Chris Warkaki come back and said the Ender 3 is better, duh. And that coming from Chris Warkaki, that's saying something.
I was gonna say, don't confuse people like that, Chris. All you have to do is watch one of Chris's videos, and then you'll know everything that you need to know about that statement.
Yeah, well, one of these days he's going to actually get a Prusa, and then he'll understand.
Chris is gonna have to move to Prague and become a Prusa engineer.
Wild Wookie, I'm not going to tell you not to. I don't have a Photon personally. I have a Creality SLA printer, but I've seen videos on the Anycubic Photon, and I mean, which one did you help put together, Chris?
Yeah, it's that Anycubic Photon. That's really the only one I have experience with. And for the money, it seems to turn out some really good stuff. So if you're wanting to go cheap SLA, I don't think you're going to have a problem with that one. Anycubic usually turns out a pretty good product. DH likes cabbage.
Larry Cluster, sometimes PETG will work too well on PEI. So you need a release agent, and ABS is more worried about the heat that you have on your bed than it is the PEI.
Yep.
I don't have any.
Well, ever since I went to the powder coated, I don't have any problem. But with the regular PEI sheet, I just use a little spritz of this magical juice here called Meguiar's Perfect Clarity Glass Cleaner.
Yeah.
Automotive section. Plus, it has a nice smell.
Chad Williams, if you set up a place for an SLA printer, it's really not that bad. Like now in this space, I have a counter with a sink and all that. That's going to be my SLA space over there. Right over there is going to be SLA all the way. I'm going to have to do a Chris Riley on this camper with cameras everywhere. So we're
that's the downside to having areas that are specific to stuff, is that you got to figure out how to film it. I think you should do all live streams from the commode.
From the commode, I can do that. It's right there. Hold on, I can sign in on my phone. I can go in. No, I'm just kidding.
Scott, I actually had the same problem getting PETG to stick to the powder coated bed. I used a little bit more squish, just like 0.1, 0.15, and I also turned the heat up. I run the bed at 90 degrees for IC3D PETG.
Chad Williams, you talk about the consumable cost difference. The consumable cost difference for SLA printers there's not that much of a difference. The bottles of resin for it's 500, what is it, 500 grams, I think, 500 milliliters of resin is like $28. you can get a lot of prints from 500 milliliters of resin. A lot of prints. They're all small, but you can get a lot of them.
Hey, Walter, Tom, 3D Printing Llama, says that he does not want you doing the pot. So
Yeah,
get off the marijuana while you're doing your videos.
I will clean myself shortly of that habit. Somebody commented on my video from yesterday, or actually I released it today. We shot it yesterday, where we moved the camper, and they're like, "You did all of that without drinking beer. I'm proud of you." Okay. It was a lot of work, man. This thing, I am so sore today. Y'all don't understand. I worked behind a desk for the last 24 years, 25 years. I'm sore as hell today.
Yeah, that's the way it works when you have a cushy job.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris and Tony Ryan talk about sanding PEI. I like to use double aught steel wool. Works awesome.
Chad Williams, no. That was my concern as well when I got mine. But no, the consumables that I've seen really aren't that much more. And you're using it for specific things. It's not going to be your workhorse printer unless you're turning out pieces that you need to print on SLA. So you're using it for specific things. So you don't run through, well, you do when you first get it because it's just so friggin' cool. But you don't run through as much resin, I wouldn't think, on a regular basis as you do filament.
Well, Walter, Tom wants you to put your pot and flush it down the toilet.
Ah. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Robert, I can't find it right now, but I will continue looking for it when I get home. I know it was in a tweet because he hasn't officially released the A10M Simplified 3D profile for Filament Frenzy. But, yeah. I'll keep looking.
Josh Michael Fox said he signed up now, full price. Make sure I get my kickback.
Walter wishes he got a kickback.
Dude, if you drive up here and kick me, I'm going to kick you back.
Hey, Michael, I'll apply the code. It won't count for this month, but it'll count for next month.
They are, Thomas M. Ross. Deltas are mesmerizing.
Yeah, Larry, that kind of depends what printer you're using. Is it a Bowden tube? Does it have a PTFE lined hot end? Because you might just never get rid of it, depending on the type of filament.
That's a good question for Chad Williams has a good question for the group, because I don't know. I've only had mine, month and a half or so. So, anybody know the shelf life of resin? Does it go bad, or is it pretty stable? How long you reckon it'll sit on the shelf in a sealed brown bottle?
Yeah, I have no guesses.
Let me look it up. Let me see.
Larry, direct drive. Is it an all metal hot end? Titan Arrow with Volcano. Well, you really shouldn't have any stringing then. Are you having the problem on every filament, or is it just one?
It says a shelf life of at least 12 months. At least. So I'm assuming it's going to be at least 24 months, because that's what I'm going to try at least push it to.
Yeah, but you got to take into consideration the time between manufacturing and when you got it too.
Well, okay, so that's why I'm giving it 3 years. Because if I give it 4 years, it should make it at least 5 years. Right?
With SLA, are there different types of filament as well, like PLA, PETG, and ABS?
Materials?
Yeah.
No.
It's all one.
The reason for that is, I guess you could find some other material that hardens at the same wavelength of light, then it might work. But it's very specific. Like mine's a 405 nanometer light wavelength that hardens that resin. So if you get a resin with a different wavelength, then no, it won't even harden your resin at all.
That's too much to know and remember.
Well,
I want an SLA.
Red light said yes, there is. So I don't know. Oh, there are nylons. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know. I've only had mine a month and a half. But they have to be. Well, I know there's a flex resin. Joel just did a video at CES. But it's also got to be able to be hardened at that wavelength of light. So they have to do it for printing.
Yeah, Larry, that's exactly what I was going to say. Get some Desiccant or something and try to dry it out. See if that helps.
Yeah, I did see that video, Red Light.
It was just there.
Oh, wow. Steven Batten said, except for Walter, are you guys worried about fumes? 3 to 4 printers running at the same time? ABS or PETG mostly?
No. For FTM printers?
Yeah.
ABS is known to actually put out, I don't know how bad, but bad fumes. But no.
I will tell you that the smell and the fumes are worse with resin, Chad Williams. Yes, that is a fact. If you've ever walked by a nail salon, that smell is what you get with acrylic resin.
I do know that when you're trying to make ABS smooth and you have a big glass thing full of acetone and you take the lid off and look down and take a breath at the same time, it sucks.
But that would be more of the acetone, would it not?
Yeah, that's the acetone. I'm just saying it sucked.
When we were young, dude, we had a swimming pool when we were young, and you get those big tubs of chlorine tablets, right?
Yeah.
So I opened it up one day and I acted like I took a big whiff of that, and I told my little brother, who was probably 7 or 8 at the time, I said, "Smell this," and stuck it to his face. Oh, dude, he about passed out.
He's dead now.
I had muriatic acid for one of my pools one time, and I was cleaning out. I think I said this last stream, but I was cleaning out my salt filter for my pool with muriatic acid, and I had it covered up, and something spilled into it and caused this cloud of acid vapor that went right in my face, and I couldn't. My lungs hurt for like 3 months.
Wow,
I can imagine.
Looks like under extrusion can be due to a bad PLA at the end of the spool. Some PLA, especially a couple of years ago, like the filaments come a long way. It's accuracy, but when you get towards the middle of a spool and it starts to get really tight, and you see the coils, that when the coils are a little tighter, depending on the printer, you start having problems because of the radius is so tight.
like maybe it was wrapped while it was still too warm.
Yeah, like you get some of those spools and that coil is, really, really tight, and it's like a pigtail feeding in. Doesn't work well.
Oh, you're talking about like diameter wise?
No, like radius, like the core of the spool is too narrow.
Like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
I think I know who that is, and I couldn't make the samples, like the last couple samples on the spools. If I think that's who
AIO?
I think it, yeah.
Yeah, because the spools are so small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I let go of a sample and it literally made a ball. It was cool, looked like art, but I mean,
Like when a slinky goes bad.
yeah.
No, that's the only issue that I've ever had with AIO, besides the fact that the first, like even in a bag, the first few inches are always very brittle when I go to take it out.
Yeah.
So I just immediately cut like the first 8 inches off and throw it away. So otherwise, I love that filament. Tight coils through a Bowden tube equals lots of drag. Who uses a Bowden tube?
I'm still on the fence whether I like Bowden or direct better.
Well, my biggest experience with Bowden is that pile of trash sitting right there. I had to think of a good word to use that I could say on YouTube. So like I don't really have a lot of good things to say about Bowden, but everything else is direct drive.
My AM8 is Bowden. My A10M is Bowden. My regular A8 is direct. And Out of my 2A8s, the quality it prints is about the same with either the bone
Yeah, it's
or
just
the.
settings. You know, it's the dialing in is just a little bit different as well. Pile of stuff.
And that's really what it's
That's
about.
pretty close to the word I was thinking about there, Tony.
Michael Fox is building enclosures. Awesome. Those things are cool. They look really nice.
I want that printer so I can fix it. I know how to fix it. I mean, besides banging on it with a hammer. It needs a new main board, and it needs some help with the bed. The bed is bowl shaped. So, I mean, it's not a mystery what's wrong with it. It's the principle behind it. And yes, I could fix it, but I'm not going to. And hopefully, very soon, you guys will know why I'm not going to fix that one. It's because I have an FK1.
Well,
It's ironing the bed right now.
it's doing something. or rather not doing anything.
The problem is everything that I have to do on that, I have to film.
Yeah.
But that thing's not easy to film.
Yeah.
Because I have to bring it over here, and it's too wide for the bench. So like I have pieces of plywood up here somewhere.
Why don't you just move your lights to where they shine or turn them around and film over there?
Oh, because the camera won't reach there. I can't.
Oh my cookies! You just move that camera.
can't
Turn
move
the
that
camera.
camera.
Why?
Because it takes me like a half hour to get it back exactly where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Josh. His frame of reference is wall to wall, so it has to be exactly in that spot.
Yeah, because you see in the video that it goes right to here. Otherwise you see past it. That way I don't really care because you don't see anything over there. But excuses. No, it is going to happen. I gotta say though, and I'm gonna say this out publicly, but I'm a little nervous about Gainesville Maker Faire this year because
when is it?
It's the last weekend of February, but their website still has the location to be announced.
That's not.
So I don't know if they don't have a location at all, or if they just haven't decided on one. Because I know they were talking about finding a different venue because the venue that they used last year, while it was super appreciated to have it, it was hot and it was tight in there.
Yeah.
It was small. Walter can back me up. He was there.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's plenty of room.
I might go to that, but not present anything.
I was nice and cool. Air conditioning was great.
Oh yeah, lots of it. There was so much air conditioning, and then like to go to the bathroom, you had to like go through like industrial machinery and stuff, and it was kind of a maze. And the place was cool. Like I'd love to have it. The back lot was just full of just massive amounts of junk, abandoned vehicles and equipment and stuff. I could make so much stuff out of all of that. But as far as it being for a maker fair,
yeah,
it just wasn't
nice.
It wasn't a good venue. Plus, here's a lot of people coming in off of the street, walking through there, and they're like, their laser cutting table was just there, and like I don't know, it was a little bit scary to have people just meandering through there. So,
what's a printer for around $1,000 that would be enclosed for FDM that isn't an Ultimaker?
Prusa
with a printed solid enclosure.
There you go.
You could also look at some of Project Red's things. You may be able to get one of theirs. The Core XYs they do.
Has everyone checked their X60 connectors? I have to say I have not checked mine.
I don't have anything with F60 connectors on it.
Yeah,
or X60.
I'll check it when it burns up.
Well, then you'll know it's time to replace them.
Well, that's how you know. Nullaby, bring back brittle PLA. I've had good luck and I've had failures with that. I've been able to in a food dehydrator. I have had some success bringing back PLA.
Well, the most important part is don't let it get brittle.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it depends on where you live, and some people get away with it just being on a shelf, but I put every roll back into a Ziploc bag with desiccant bags, and I don't Like even when the roll is empty, I don't dispose of the desk impact. I just throw it in with another one.
Right.
So like I have some spools in there that have like 9 desk impacts.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize with those Duskin packets, a lot of them are rechargeable. You can stick them in the microwave for like 10 seconds or whatever,
Yeah.
and you can just reuse them.
Or throw them in your food dehydrator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kit is here. Welcome, Kit. Rob Rocco is here. Hello. What is up?
Are there any events closer to Kansas?
Any events closer to Kansas?
There's
There's
gotta be
only
like a Kansas Maker Fair, right? I mean,
there's only one. There's a Kansas City mini Maker Fair at Union Station. That's the only one I know of.
I can't believe that would be a mini in that area.
Dude, have you ever been to Kansas?
Yeah, tornadoes and Toto. And
You could get the entire state's population together. It'd still be a mini Maker Fair.
TotoCon.
Scaldo YT, yes, it does feel good to be over here, even though it's not complete by any stretch of the imagination. This is a temporary thing, so.
Scott,
isn't a mini, it's 2 days.
they don't classify that as a mini? I didn't know that. I've never actually been. The only time.
Oh, now the truth comes out.
Yeah,
Well, he just said he knew about it, not that he'd been to it.
the only time I had that I could go, it was on the same weekend as Earth. So I went to Earth because that's where all the cool kids were.
That's right. And it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The drive up was not, but the
No.
event was a lot of fun.
Larry Cluster said he's from Kansas.
He's from Kansas. I'm from Kansas City. Kind of like almost Kansas, but it's still Missouri.
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm not talking bad about Kansas. I just said the population wasn't very high. The thing is, we took a day trip, or it was actually an overnight trip when we lived in Northwest Arkansas through Kansas. We went up and we were like, we're just going to go somewhere, right? And they had this science. I can't even remember the name of the town, but it was a science museum in this town. And we're like, okay, we're going. So we're going down this road and we see a sign on the side and we're like, what is that? So we stopped and it was Laura Ingalls Wilder's house, the little house on the prairie, basically. It was the house where she was born, and it was just this it was smaller than my room that I 3D print from now. This house, the whole house.
I used to really give my mom a lot of crap because she lived in Augusta, Georgia, and she all the time come visit, and I'm like, there's nothing to do in that town. She's like, there's lots to do. So I Googled it, and everything that was a point of interest was either where somebody was born or where somebody was buried. That's it. That's what they have to go look at.
CNX Tech is here. Welcome. And YJit is here. Hello. How are you? I remember I pronounced that correctly once, but I think that's right. Kansas is the flattest place on earth, probably.
Well, yeah, theoretically, yes.
Great Bend, Kansas is the absolute center of the United States.
Kansas has the world's largest ball of twine.
Yep.
Well, coming from a guy who was born in Minnesota, that is incorrect. Minnesota has the world's largest ball of twine. It's in Darwin, Minnesota. Actually, what it is they can't figure out which one is larger. One is classified as the world's largest ball of synthetic twine, and the other one's the world's largest ball of natural twine.
Oh, good.
It's natural twine in Minnesota, synthetic in Kansas. And I've touched the one in Minnesota. The lady, we went there to see it, and I was telling the lady how excited I was to be there, and because I'm a little bit of a ham, and so I'm like, this is so exciting. I cannot believe that we're really here. And she said, well, Marge has the key, and if you're nice, she'll open it up and let you in there. And I'm like, don't be screwing with me, lady. Oh, I'm serious. And they did. They let us in there, and I held Xander. He was like 7 months old, and I held him up to it, and he was like, it stunk so bad. It was in this soda that was glass enclosed and stuff.
Right.
It was hot and like nasty.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures now. If you do a Google search for the world's largest ball of twine, it comes up with Kansas and Minnesota. Top two, Darwin, Minnesota, and Cawker City, Kansas.
Correct.
Nice. Robert Reynolds, I got 10 inches in my front yard right now. It's awesome.
Yeah, y'all just my friend that lives up there just posted pictures of all the snow y'all got, man.
But Walter, before you run off from the world's largest twine ball, Minnesota still wins because Weird Al did not do a song about the one in Kansas.
That's true.
That's all I can say.
You got him there.
You have to admit that's pretty much all Minnesota's got going for it.
10,000 lakes.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I've done the Google Earth thing, and I'm like, I don't think there's 10,000 lakes in Minnesota actually, but there's quite a few. But there's almost as many sinkholes in Florida. So,
Big Steve is here. Hello.
Chris, what country am I from? Then I will forgive you for forgetting my name. It's so hard to say. Then I will forgive you for forgetting my name.
Because the frogetting.
It's a lot of fluff. It's too many F's in a row.
Yeah. I believe you are from Ireland.
You're just guessing that because this last part of his thing says Higgins, and that's kind of an Irish.
Is that an Irish name, Higgins?
I think so.
hey, Michael Fox said the ball of twine in Kansas gets bigger with every visitor because they give you twine to add.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts.
Yes, it is Ireland.
All right, well then you're forgiven, I guess.
All right.
I was gonna ask you about the. I guess that's your heated bed, right?
Yeah, that's
What's
my
gonna
bed
heat
heater.
your bed heater. Is it going under that piece of an aluminum?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, and then I have
Because it's a little bit smaller than the aluminum plate.
Then I have a big ass sheet of PEI to go on top of it from printed solid.
Nice.
Yeah, the reason that it's smaller than the bed plate is because the heater itself was ordered as a 400 by 1200 millimeter. The bed is actually 48 inches by 16 inches.
You're
And
caught
then
on something. Don't break wires.
In all actuality, the bed is actually 48 and a half inches because that's how wide the stock is.
Gotcha.
So I just told them not to bother cutting it. So, but yeah, that's for those who haven't seen.
Now, where'd you get this from?
China. It's a company called Ally Rubber. So, but for those who haven't seen, if I can get that whole thing in there. I don't know if you can see that whole thing, but that's the heater. So what amazes me is that cord you have in your hand. Look how beefy that thing is.
Well, yeah, that's nice and beefy, but is
Where they put the thermistor
Yeah.
sucks. It should have been into the
it
middle.
should?
But,
Yeah.
but if it doesn't work out, I'll just get another one and tape it in. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
100K
Right.
thermistor. So
I need a 510 by 510.
5'10" by 5'10".
No, 510 millimeter.
Oh, they can do it. They can make any size. This was $100.
That's not bad.
No, not for a custom heater this big. Plus shipping. I don't remember what shipping was, but
I currently have no thoughts about the Ender 5. I don't know anything about it. And I do not currently have a pallet project going. I need to move the pallet because it's right there. And I can't do these really long-winded prints because I need to make videos. So I need to put it over there or something.
Apples wants to know if it's a multiple zone heater.
it is not. It is one big heater. How much power does it draw? It draws 13 amps. It is a 1600 watt heater that will reach 110 degrees Celsius. And it is AC power. I guess that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think you could heat something that big, 13 amps on 12 volt. Because I looked into, 24 volt. I looked into doing a 24 volt heater, but the power supply was going to be
Stupid.
astronomical. I mean, I would have to drive a second truck just to bring the power supply. So I went with solid state relay and AC.
Yeah, I don't know why the last few weeks I'm just like really set on building a 500 by 500 by 500 print volume printer with a bed that does not move at all. But a lot of little pieces you got to consider.
Yeah.
Hey, Nappin is here. Haven't seen Nappin in a while. Welcome.
Why not do zone heating? Because at the time that I started designing all of this, I was not familiar with the way that the Duet board worked, so I didn't know there was even an option to do that. And besides, who would print small? And does it really matter? I mean, it's just electricity. There's plenty of it. I use it, and it just keeps coming.
Somebody was that reminded me, Glenn. Somebody was asking questions about main boards. What main boards should you go with if you're doing a build? And I think a lot of the people on this stream and in the chat are going to tell you Duet Wi-Fi.
I would agree. I mean, that's how I ended up going with Duet, was because everybody said, go with Duet. Now, I had asked for a Duet Ethernet. I'm not a big fan of Wi-Fi connected stuff. And they ended up sending me the Wi-Fi, and I wasn't going to complain, you know. But it's just like every once in a while, it just kind of, I don't know. It's never stable enough for me. I like tethered things. So, but I will end up putting a Raspberry Pi on there and tethering that in instead.
Larry Cluster asked me a question about what do I think about ground glass and adding it to plastic. My question is, for what? Other than making stuff sparkly, I mean, and maybe a little tougher.
Don't they have glass embedded filament?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I know they got carbon fiber, but
yeah, well, they got diamond. I mean, they got all
I
kinds.
think they've put just about anything you can think of into filament.
Yeah.
I think a lot of stuff is just a marketing ploy.
That would be massively hard on your nozzle, though. I mean, it would have to be really, really ground out, first of all. And then it is going to be super abrasive.
White Sheep wants to know what's your favorite build. I'm going to say it's the FK1.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I can't wait to start showing that thing off this year. I mean, this is going to be the year of the FK1, but
Well, it was funny when you had it at Orlando Maker Faire. You got this gigantic printer, and you're over there printing little tiny.
yeah, everybody's like, why don't you
inside.
print something big? I'm like, because we're here for 2 days, and they turn the power off at night.
Yeah.
You know, like to print big is 14 days. I don't have that kind of time. But I also wanted something that I could snap off and hand to the kids.
Hand to people, yeah.
God, there was a little girl there. She must have been, I don't know, 10. And I gave her one of the little makeys off of the printer, and she was beside herself. She must have hugged me like 6 times in the course of standing there. Like, she was so excited that somebody gave her something.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of like looking at her dad, like, what? Will you like lock her in the closet when you get home or something? Like, what? What's going on here?
I had a lot of fun at that Maker Faire.
It was a good time. It's a good time. They do a really good job, the Maker Effects group. I run Maestros on my Ender 3s, and my other Duets are Ethernet versions. I like running hardwired. There you go. I'm designing a diesel-powered backup for the FK1. That'll be awesome. I'm actually in the process of acquiring the parts to put a hitch on our Ford Flex, and then I'm going to get a trailer ready for that thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to drive
Definitely
my
need it.
truck all the way to Murph.
just put wheels on it, man, and put a tow hitch on it.
Yeah, well, I could, except for, like the wind and the rain, So,
You know.
I mean, technically, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a crate that it goes into, and that crate's going to slide into the trailer.
But you could just like mold you a fiberglass body to fit over the top of it.
I could just print it.
Well, you could do that. There you go. Print it in carbon fiber, man. Friggin' awesome.
Well, I want to build some type of an enclosure big enough to hold the printer, my 2 tables, my tablecloths, my sign holders and stuff, so that everything is in there and nothing is in the car, because I hate rattles inside the car. And when you get all that junk in the back of the car and you're driving along, it's like, jingle, jingle, rattle, rattle.
I've got to get a tow hitch installed onto my Rogue, but I plan on renting a trailer.
Well, Home Depot
you
will
need
rent
any
a
help.
3x5 for $80 a week.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, that's what I thought. I couldn't buy one and
Right.
justify. Then you don't have to pay maintenance and tires and tag.
Yeah.
And, so
That's the worst part about trailers.
what's that?
So that's the worst part about trailers is upkeep, because it sets around so much.
Well,
Yeah.
you're paying for a tag. I mean, I don't know how it is there, but I mean, you have to buy a tag every year in Florida for your trailer,
Yeah, it's stupid.
and it just sits there. I mean, I have a car trailer, but that thing's used all the time, either by me or people that know me. You know, can I borrow your trailer?
Tony Ryan said, "I hear there's a like new fifth wheel. There's nothing like new fifth about this fifth wheel. Nothing at all is like new about.
There was nothing like new about mine either, and that's why I let it go. I almost kept it. With the intent of cleaning it up and taking it to Murph so that we could stay in it, because the only campground in Goshen, Indiana, is on the property of the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah.
That's the only campground. Now all the RVs are manufactured there, but it's not a vacation destination. So but it was pretty rough. And that guy kept flashing money in front of my face, you know. Like Christmas was coming. I'm like, yep, see you later.
Keep losing Wi-Fi in your Raspberry 3B. Are you pulling DHCP address? You might just be losing your IP lease. And Mike loves bacon. I love bacon too.
I had that problem when I built my very first Raspberry Pi Octopi. I had that problem with it keeping the Wi-Fi connection too, and I blamed it on my access point. I don't know if it is or not. Chris, finish that dang hot end, Chris. $3.99.
They're paying me to do work now. This isn't good.
Hey,
Thank you, Chris.
This 3D printing has officially become a job.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a professional 3D printer.
You have a boss now, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Ever since I went, I always assign my IPs. I don't like anything DHCP if I can help it, and I'm a little bit of a network snob. Are you picking that up? I never heard it until I said it out loud.
The what?
I don't like Wi-Fi, and I don't like DHCP IP addresses. You know, like I have a whole spreadsheet where I know where everything on my network is, and then when things show up, when I first hooked up the FK1, when we were working on it during the live stream, I had done a scan. I use an app called Fing on my phone. That's, it's kind of like the Angry IP scanner, and there was a Sony PlayStation on my network. And I'm like, I don't have a Sony PlayStation. So like I didn't make a big deal about it during the stream, but I thought I'm going to get to the bottom of this, because we had a situation at work where an IP camera showed up on our network, but it was actually one of our Verizon telephones, like desk phones, was just it was misidentified.
Yeah.
So after the stream, I started searching through there. Well, I also had an Apple iPhone on my network, and I'm like, I don't have anything Apple. I'm not an Apple guy.
Yeah.
So it was Grant, because Grant lives in my apartment, and it's the same network, and I didn't even think about it. So it's all Grant stuff. I was getting ready to like start blocking it. Fun King 3D, that's because you like things to work. I'm the same way. Yeah, well, and it drives me crazy. Like at work, they'll get something new, and they'll hook it up. Or like we leased some large format printers for printing plans, construction blueprints, and they had somebody come in and hook it up. And I went in and I went ape crazy, like, that is not where that's going to be in the IP chain. Just wired my smart TV into the router. Much better responsiveness. Absolutely. You'll get a lot less buffering that way. All my TVs are hardwired. Really, the only thing that I don't have hardwired is like my phone, obviously, because it's not an option, or I'd be just dragging a cord around. The kids' TVs have Roku, which they're only Wi-Fi. You can't hardwire those.
Yeah.
But in my tablet. But otherwise, like anything that's got an Ethernet jack gets a cord. Well, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a whole network tower over here.
My rack system with all my stuff. My $400 enterprise router that wouldn't handle gigabit, so I had to buy a $99 router that handles gigabit. Just wish I had wired our house for Cat X when we built it. I actually pulled conduit through the whole entire house. So I picked a bunch of spots for wall plates, pulled conduit, and didn't pull any wire. Because again, I don't know how it works elsewhere, but the state of Florida, if you pre-wire your home for smart, you're taxed higher.
What?
It ups the value of your home, therefore you get taxed higher. If you plumb it to pull cable through, it ups the value on your home, but it's not taxable because it's not usable.
Right.
So I can then pull cable anywhere. And when Cat 6 is no longer the thing, out it comes in whatever,
Right.
when they finally figure out how to run fiber between everything. Yeah, Scott said conduit's the way to go. I got there's so much running through this house. It all comes out. I'll show you that.
Is it just a pipe going through everywhere?
You've seen the blue flexible electric conduit.
Right.
Well, this is orange for low voltage. But yeah, it just runs. I got chases coming and I got a whole bunch of it coming up in that.
And what do you use to, like, if you wanted to put a new wire through it, do you use like a
snake,
snake?
A fiberglass snake.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there's nothing in the conduit currently, you can actually just like vacuum a string through it really easy, and then pull it back with a string.
That's pretty cool.
Or you can run the snake through there. Yeah.
Morwick is here. I haven't seen Morwick in a while. Hello. If you don't remember, Morwick, were we on a? I think Walter was there when it happened, but Morwick was the guy that he was asking about printers, and we told him to buy an Ultimaker 5S, and he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that. It must have been one of the times I wasn't there.
Yeah. So he has an Ultimaker.
Or it was one of those moments where I was just gone for a second.
Oh, wow.
On Texas IP list, like most people check their email. Well, it's funny because where I live, I'm far enough away from my neighbors, like where my neighbors are never going to get onto my network, which is secured anyway. But plus my house has a metal roof and foil-backed plywood on the whole house. So it's pretty much a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Like I can make it to my driveway, but if you walk out into the driveway, you lose signal. Who's your carrier?
Verizon.
No signal?
No, I got signal.
Yeah. Oh, because I have a Verizon tower in my kitchen.
Good, Mark. I'm glad that's working for you. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't. If you have that kind of money, well, you were doing it for your job, but if you have that kind of money, I don't know why it wouldn't work.
Right. Rob Rocco said, interesting, never heard of the string and vacuum to run cables. I saw that on a video years ago on some TV show, like many years ago, where they put the conduit in the walls and use string with a rag or something tied to it.
Yeah, we had I'll take like a little plastic baggie and catch air in there and then tie a string to it and then snip the corner off. Works really well. But we had a computer company that I worked for. We had an office at the end of this strip mall, and they were building on to the other end of it, and we leased the other end as well. But we didn't give up this end, and we had to tie the two together. And I ran 1-inch PVC conduit all the way down the building between the two offices. And then when it came time to pull cable down between there, I took a ball out of a mouse and I took the string and a screwdriver and I jammed the string into the ball and I stuck it in there. And I yelled to the guy at the other end. I said, all right, turn the vacuum on. And he turned it. That thing was streaming out of there so fast. It burned my fingers. The string was into the pipe. He had that thing in like a second and a half because the ball was the perfect size for the pipe. It just went zinging. I mean, it was like making a sound. But yeah, and of course, now with a 3D printer, I could print a nozzle for the vacuum because usually you got to kind of like just monkey it up in there, but yeah, no, it'll suck the string right in there, and then you can use the string to pull it through.
Nappin must have watched my video, guys. He said, you're a redneck when you have a tractor tire around a tree. It's really funny because this used to be where my grandmother and grandfather lived, right here where this is at. And he planted those trees in those tires. So it wasn't a tree when he put the tire there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's much easier to do it then.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. So he was all about the tractor tires, though. There's several bushes out there that have tires around them. And he had the driveway marked with tires. Josh came up here. You might have saw the tractor tire. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Bryce made it to the stream. Welcome, Bryce.
It's a good use for tires. You can't do much with them otherwise.
Right?
Ex-Navy installer, cotton ball and a string can go a long way, even on large pipe. Well, that's I bought years ago. It was a little crossbow with a fishing reel on it for when you got up into ceilings and stuff, like suspended ceilings, and you would tie it. You shoot it across, and then you'd tie the cord and bring it back. Well, I bought that thing. It didn't last a week in the company, and everybody was playing with it, and then it disappeared. Yeah, you just reel it back in when you're done.
Yeah.
It's just this little 8-inch crossbow.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Had a pretty good range.
Any good news? Well, same old, same old.
Yes, I just saw you said hey to Bryce Schwartzwelder.
Uh-huh.
Bryce is in all my streams. He shows up every time I get on most of the time.
Awesome.
And yes, Bryce, you do see a printer pushing plastic. I actually decided to do something today on my stream. Chris pretended he was going to do something. Glenn made no pretenses whatsoever that he was doing anything. So I at least have a printer printing. So for something to go on.
Who's saying that I don't have a printer printing?
You don't.
You're right. I don't. I couldn't even lie my way out of that one.
Well, I'm here and I have something printing at my house, so that counts,
I could get my 3D printing pen out. That video is going to come out hopefully this week. Gearbest sent me this $35 printing pen, and when I got it and touched it for the first time, I thought, "What kind of piece of crap toy is this?"
Right.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with that for $35.
I bought a 3D printing pen and gave it away. I think back in June or July, something like that. To a Twitter follower, did that whole Gleam giveaway thing. Some guy from overseas won it. I've never heard back whether it was any good or not.
Yeah, well, I have an AIO one, which it's nice. They're about $65, and I mean it's a really nice pen. It's got good weight to it and stuff. I just suck at drawing stuff, so with ink or with filament, I suck either way. So
I have a question for you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
On the Wi-Fi SD card.
Uh-huh.
How's that going now? I don't know when you shot that video, but how are you still using that?
I've been using it for transferring audio actually for the videos.
Yeah.
So it's working pretty good. It's slow, it's a really small Wi-Fi device, so it's going to be pretty slow.
Right.
But it's better than a non-Wi-Fi SD card.
So, do you know how much those cost?
They're pretty expensive. I want to say they're $40+.
And what size cards are they?
30. This one's a 32 gig, and I think you can get a 16 and a 32.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it would be really handy in certain situations, I think.
I used one of those a couple years back. We had set up in the haunted house that we did for the Cub Scouts. We had it where a certain event would trip the camera and take the people's pictures when they were freaked out, and then it would upload it Wi-Fi to a computer outside, and then we had a guy out there with the printer, so that when they'd come down, their picture was up on the screen like at Disney and stuff, and then we'd sell them their picture for $5. So that worked out. That worked out really well because it took the picture and they were still in the haunted house for 10 minutes. So it was plenty of time for it to get there, and then he would pull it up in Photoshop and put a frame on it, and
Toba Shadow, the redneck hobbyist, said print with it on its side. Come on, you want to. If you're talking about Chris and his Prusa, absolutely. If you're talking about mine that's printing, that sucker weighs 55 pounds. I'm not going to try to lay it on its side while it's printing.
Flip it completely upside down, Walter.
No.
I mean, Delta printers kind of look like an hourglass anyway, the way they're built.
They do.
Just
yeah.
These are the sands of time.
Ian Hopes was on here.
I like the height you can get with those, but they're can't go too wide with them.
He was giving me a hard time earlier because my sloppy temp table, because I left the spaces in it, was triggering his OCD. I love it. Morik had a question about metal-filled filament.
I got some
I
of that.
don't know of any. I mean, I haven't had a lot of it, but I don't know good brands. I mean, Protopasta probably has the most different types. Like they probably have steel and stuff.
3DX Tech, do they have?
Well, I had some Protopasta that had
they've got
copper in it,
carbon
copper
fiber.
fill. I have so much filament that I forget about having. I mean, I don't even know what this is. Oh, I know what that is. Color Fab. In fact, I got this from Show'em Skewed View 3D like a year ago, and I haven't printed with it yet because I haven't found anything that's really spectacular. But this,
There's like nothing.
I don't know if you guys can see that. This is brand new. This isn't even open. That's a kilogram.
Wow.
It's like just over a third of a roll.
And what brand is that, Glenn?
Color
Fab.
Fab.
Color Fab. Okay.
But what's cool? This is a magnetic stud finder. Oh god, that happens every time I pick this thing up. But it's
This guy, I swear.
But yeah, I mean it's very, very. I mean, feel how
Yeah. Oh, that's
Cool.
cool.
it's very,
Yeah.
very magnetic.
Yeah, there he is.
There goes
No
again.
trailing spaces. Just know, so many data issues. Always trim. You should see how I program. It would freak you out.
I want to try to get a metal fill for the UFO box. It's kind of one of the reasons I got a hardened nozzle for the accessory this month. But that stuff's expensive, and you don't get a lot.
No, well, because it's heavy. It's sold by weight,
Yeah.
and then it's really heavy. But yeah, I had that. I had gotten a sample of Protopasta's copper fill, and I printed my maker coin, and then gave it a little bit of a polish and gave it to Thomas from Arduino Makes at Murph last year. It is the only time that I've ever printed my maker coin in anything but Hatchbox yellow PLA. So, well, other than my own is
Well, somebody the other day, I think it was Midnight Giant, he did that dagger in Protopasta metal fill, and he shined it up, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
that's IC3D PETG. That's Fun King 3D yellow. So it's the only
I like
one that
that.
has a pocket cross embedded into the back of it as well. That was my father's.
That's awesome.
I hated it jingling in my pocket. It would always hit against my maker coin. So I just made it part of my maker coin. Josh had fusion filaments to the UFO box for $2.99.
Fusion filaments.
What you guys don't understand is here's Chris Riley getting rich off everybody dropping.
Right?
Josh, I'm gonna get with Ron. There's a guy. I think his name's Ron. I got to go look. But Rob at Vision Miner, they do high temp. I'm gonna get you a roll of Ultim, like a short roll, and you can just clip a piece off about that long and put it in everybody's box, just so that they can say that they have some.
Right? That'd be
$1,000 a
work.
spool.
It's $1,000 a spool.
Yeah.
Wow. If you could do that, that would be amazing.
And the thing is, I think the Chris Riley has like 3 spools of it.
I do. You wanna look at it? Hold on.
Wow.
What does it take to print that, Chris?
What is it? 400C.
What does it take to go, I need a roll of filament. Here's $1,000. Wait, I'm sorry. It takes $1,000, right?
Yeah, that's 200 grams of Ultim.
It prints at 400 degrees.
Yeah, 400C.
Do that with a Mosquito Magnum.
Yep.
My question is, you're talking about Ultim printing at 400C, 450?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you print it on? You can't stick it to a PEI sheet, right?
Well, these guys, they put it on glass, and then they have this magic slurry that they want you to use with it, that they kind of manufactured. But he said, just buy a bunch of glass sheets. He said, because about every third one, you're probably going to break it.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. So it's going to be an adventure.
And what would be the benefit of that filament? Like,
Well, they like make car, like intake manifolds and stuff out of it.
Yeah.
I was thinking to say you could make a set of pots and pans out of that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like Chris Warkaki, is Fusion Filaments a brand, or are you just trying to say put in metal fills and stuff?
Engine parts.
The world's strongest benchy.
I told the guy too. He's like, what are you gonna do with it? I was like, well, I could make some bullets, or I could print a benchy.
You know what? That would be cool, man. Look up the specs for a 223 round.
Yeah.
For a dovetail bullet, and send it to me, and I'll load it and see if it fires.
Oh, that sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, unless it just plugged up the barrel coming out of there.
Yeah, it'd probably just explode. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I mean, because the temperature inside the barrel would have to exceed 400 degrees Celsius.
It does not. No.
You don't think so?
No, it does not. You'd have to print it. You'd have to print it pretty solid, but I'm pretty sure it would survive.
Interesting.
Now, I'm not saying you could shoot one right after the other, because you can heat the barrel up to 450 C, but just one bullet, maybe.
How much of one type of filament do I go through? Put it this way. Find out the length of a 1 kilogram roll of filament and see how many 20-meter samples you get out of it. Well, I don't.
The answer to the question is I don't really know.
No, I mean, I do know. I know all the numbers for everything I do and all my things, but is that information you give out publicly?
Right.
Like, should I say how many subscribers I have? How many samples did I have to make?
I would have that as
right. So that's kind of, yeah.
Fusion Filaments Plutonic Purple.
You mean there's filament manufacturers besides IC3D and AIO Robotics?
Colin Hill's here. Hello, Colin. We were talking about
cool colors.
We were talking about Ultim and Peak.
Morwick, whenever I host, I'm capable of taking call-ins. We just don't on this show.
It's hectic enough.
Yeah. Yeah, well, these streams are supposed to be more laid back anyway, and people calling in, boy, that could get crazy fast.
Right?
Yeah. Sunday is one of those days too. I don't know how you guys do Sunday, but I try to do very little. I'm pretty much 3D printed out by the time this stream happens.
I try to do very little every day, but
man, lately I've been running like crazy. It seems like.
Yeah, I yesterday I was getting ready to go to Lowe's to buy stuff to continue working on my bathroom, and my wife notified me that we had low water pressure. Come to find out, my well had decided to give up the ghost yesterday. So both capacitors, the run capacitor and the start capacitor, had gone bad. Well, where I live, you can't just go out and buy them.
Yeah.
And so I had to go chasing parts and ended up just buying a whole entire control box. So I spent the day yesterday fixing my well, and then I worked on my bathroom until 1 a.m. last night. It's almost done, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Morwick, you're more than you can type your questions in on the show.
Yeah.
And we try to answer as much as possible.
I've thought about trying to do that. Set up a stream where people can come in and join, but it seems really hard to do and organize it well.
Well, I actually I hooked my phone to the mixer, but I couldn't get enough volume. Like, for some reason, the phone was too quiet. Because FunKing has a phone number. I don't give it out, but FunKing has a phone number. And I was going to people call in.
They actually have some software where you can use your phone number and you can patch it straight in through. It's got to be a software phone number, though, like a Google phone number.
That's what it is, yeah.
Right. And you can answer, and the software will actually patch it through your audio and all that other stuff. So you theoretically could do it. It's just really difficult because, and I found this with some of my streams where I do let people come in on like Discord or whatever. There's no end to the conversation. It's not like a sports call-in show where they go, hey, I love the Eagles. I'll take your answer off the air. They don't do that. They
get like a 3-minute kitchen timer or something and just be like, when it bings, you're done. And then it goes ding. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Right.
I need more Chris's on my channel. Yeah. There's a bunch of Chris's in 3D printing, including a couple of Chris Rileys.
1-900 Fun King. I actually tried to get the number King or Fun King, but it wasn't available. But my phone number is actually it is King. The last four digits spells out King.
Brian Weber, I do have a video showing how to set a static IP on Octoprint. I don't remember which video that is, but I can try to find you a link.
Just watch all of them. They'll find it eventually.
Yeah, watch everyone. There's 180 videos out of there. Go nuts. I do not currently have a printer that will print Ultim. I'm currently devising a scheme to putting one together.
Do it on the log. I think wood combust at 450.
Yeah, that's a good. What was the 2x4 you pulled off? That was an official hang printer part. That's how I lined up some of the string, and I just happened to set it on top of that box. What happened to my Prusa? Well, the cartridge went out, and I'm being really lazy and not putting it because it's driving all the Chris's crazy.
I feel like I should have my half assembled Prusa sitting over here, so I too can be like.
You should. I mean, because it's kind of looks bad.
It does. It's really sad looking. I mean,
it's a car accident.
Yeah. What's my normal day job? I'm a mainframe system programmer, and I actually have a couple of machines going in soon. Office hours with Chris Riley.
What's that printed on? Out of?
IC3D PETG. On the Prusa MK2S before it became a 2.5. That's just stuff running.
Gotcha. Oh, is that where the fan?
Yeah, that's where the fan comes across.
Printed on the Snappy.
This is part of the problem. Now it's all like caked up and it leaks.
Welcome, Techie Dad. Good. My weekend's going good, man. I don't know about yours. Chris, you know what time it is?
The time? Yeah, boy, it is time.
Oh, wow. That 2 hours went by quick.
Always does.
AS400 for life. Nice. Okay. So that was Fun in the Country Basement. It's after 5 or 6 o'clock. Haha, I didn't do it that time. So this was a really quick couple of hours, it seemed like. I'm going to let Walter and Glenn and Josh do their thing, and then I will close it out. So, Walter, go ahead.
I'm Walter. Kuntry 3D everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. I'm there. And if you're not subscribed, our links are below, mine and Fun King 3D. So, and if you're not subscribed to the Alien box, then you need to do that as well. All right, Glenn. I tried to make it longer. It's just kind of difficult.
You usually don't have a problem making it longer, Rambler. I am Fun King 3D, and we are typically a father and son channel, but for some reason my kid hates joining me for these streams. So surprisingly, he's not playing video games right now. He's downstairs watching TV. But we are a father and son channel that does 3D printing and electronic projects. I got a lot of stuff coming up. Again, we're going to kick back in on doing FK1 stuff to get that thing up and running again and ready for the different shows this year. I got a couple of new printers that are going to come online pretty soon, so that'll be fun. Got a video coming out hopefully this week about a 3D printing pen. Xander Sync Thursdays are currently on hiatus. We don't know. That could end up being permanent. We're not sure yet. 69 episodes weekly for a 12-year-old to pick something and print it and talk about it. He's just burnt out. It's hard to pick stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to even talk for 2 minutes to talk about something. And you're just like, I just don't even care about whatever this is.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, episode 70 was midway through filming, and we just this is enough. And we're just done.
Hey,
So,
it happens.
But yeah. So, but we're found everywhere. Fun King 3D. If you just Google Fun King 3D or funking3d.com. For those of you who aren't familiar with these streams, anytime you want to watch them, they are Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can go funcountrybasement.com. We'll always have a link, and when I say always, I mean usually like right before the stream on Sunday, the link is updated to take you to whichever channel it is on. I think that's it for me.
Okay.
So that takes us to you.
I am Josh from Alien 3D. You can go to my website, alien3d.us, or look me up on Twitter, Alien Slacker, or I'm also on Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook, but my company is on Facebook. I run a 3D printing mystery box, and it's a monthly subscription. You can get either a full box that has projects and accessories with the box, or you can just get the filaments only box. I tried to do really awesome, and everybody, if you look in chat, seems to love the box so far. Check me out. Give it a shot. You order it for 1 month. Just try it out. And if you have any feedback, let me know. Not a good talker.
No,
I do have some feedback. Don't put cocoa in the box.
Yeah, don't put cocoa in the box.
or package the cocoa better.
Or yeah.
All right. So what's Sunday dinner? Tacos. How's the Snappy coming? There'll be an update on that. And there was another one. Well, Alien 3D box is definitely well worth it. I've got my first one, and I can't wait to get another one. So definitely check that out.
And you said your video's coming out on Wednesday, yes? Sorry.
Yes. There will be an Alien 3D video from me, open box for January, Wednesday. So that'll be good. And that's it. So I am Chris Riley. This is my basement. I'm on YouTube. You can check me out /Chris Riley. I'm here with Fun in the Country Basement with Walter and Glenn almost every Sunday, or I try to be. It's always fun to have the Sunday stream. I really enjoy talking the laid back stream, get a few things done, and it's awesome. Nacho, sorry you came in at the end of this stream. But that's it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the weekend, and we will see you next week. So long.
Peace out, everybody.
Later, guys.